Through our mind and our creative eye, we can be able to create things. And through our mouths, we can be able to chart forth our future. That's what we've been given in our lives. And so with these two tools, we can be able to speak life, bring life into the lives of people. We only speak creative life. Speak life into the hearts of men and build them up, because you never know what people are going through, right? So that's what we are going to do today on this beautiful Monday. We're going to start off by looking at our newspapers. And we start with the Standard newspaper. I must say, the Standard has been brutal on President William Ruto. This is for sure. And as his tour of Mount Kenya kicks off this week, the Standard has started off in an interesting way. It says President Ruto's return to Mount Kenya remains a critical test of his grip of the region. Once a stronghold, shifting allegiance now threaten his once perceived dominance. Reports of former Mungiki leader Maina Jenga's involvement in mobilization efforts ahead of his tour raises questions, though planners deny the illegal sector involvement as backup plans to show up numbers for optics. Well, if this report is anything to go by, it will be a very, very unfortunate thing, because for those who are alive when this group was wreaking havoc in the Mount Kenya region, that's the last thing you want to see. Insecurity, ID vetting, and calls for peace dominate Eid prayers. I still want people to be vetted by ID. I'm against those. I'm against the decision by the government to have people just given IDs without vetting and to give them free of charge just like that, because we know what's going to happen. Then Kalonzo slams Haiti mission as IG Kanja vows to find officer. Then we have Melen's painful humiliation at husband's burial. This is the lady who was being beaten. And I hope those shameful men are in prison now. Wakule githeri huko kidogo, wapelekwe ndani. You do not, even if it's culture. That's a very retrogressive culture. That you beat up a woman at the burial of her ex-husband, you force her to throw, soil into the grave, and you beat her up in front of her parents. Hey. Maina Jenga's hand in Ruto's mobilization for Mount Kenya tour. I said some time back that even if Maina Jenga calls himself bishop or archbishop, or even goes to a point where he calls himself archangel, I can never believe this guy has changed. Then why president is exposed without these 5 men, which are Gachagua, Moses Kuria, Mithika Linturi, Justin Muturi, and Dende Nyoro. Then you got the back page, all talk and no bite as derby ends in a draw. Then you got a picture of a guy whose confidence is in his body. He's flexing his muscle. Ruto versus Kibaki, 20 years apart, same problems. ODM chief Raila Odinga is still a key protagonist as he was in 2005. True. President William Ruto's first time in office mirrors that of the man whose cabinet he served, Stanley Emilio Mwai Kibaki. Like the case 20 years ago, Mount Kenya, which found itself besieged as it sought to help President Kibaki retain power, now also finds itself facing a campaign to isolate the region that this time is fighting to dislodge President Ruto after a bitter fallout with his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua. Final betrayals of Kenyans who lost 34 billion shillings in pyramid schemes. These pyramid schemes, zilituonyesha maneno. Then the Muslim have cited the moon citing confusion dogs Idul Fitri celebrations in Kenya and the region. Ruto Raila and the return of Mount Kenya siege 20 years later. Inside Ruto's tour, list of goodies for Mount Kenya. Then you got love brewed in USA, heartbreak in Nigeria, fight for millions in Kenya. Where? Yeah? Then the back page of the Nation, it's the derby that ended up 0-0. Ambani, Mihik, Ru striker shortage in Derby Row. Then the Star newspaper. Farmers Spain as middlemen hijack state fertilizer and aid. Daring gangs conduct illicit trade next to NCPB and Kenya Seed. As in, Tobias Alando, spy dreamer driving Kenya's industrial push. Okay. Audits. Counties risk losing 532 billion due to weak systems. Then TransCentury tipped to gain more. Investors decamp T-bills. You have Wandai asks Parliament to lift freeze on power purchase deals. He argued that it has negatively impacted efforts to negotiate better and affordable power. Middle East conflict, threat to Kenya. This is Haji. The National Intelligence Service has raised concerns over the escalation of the Israel-Palestinian conflict into Yemen alongside Houthi rebels attacks. The agency says that this has increased security threats against Kenya. The conflicts have heightened security risks for shipping routes through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, one of Kenya's primary trade corridors. All the papers, the back page of the papers, have to do with the Mashemeji Derby, which ended up 0-0. None of the teams managed to score a goal past their rival's goalkeeper. So in a couple of minutes, we come back and see some of the stories that made headlines. Don't go away. Welcome back. Welcome back. And you know what is happening in this country? There's a lot of funny, hanky-panky kind of business. And if you can remember yesterday, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen warned politicians who who are inciting and funding gangs in the country to disrupt other politicians' meeting, saying stiff action will be taken against them. Now, speaking when he attended a church service in Meru County, the CS Interior also said the government is establishing a police operation base in Laikipia to ensure that cattle rustling is dealt within the counties of Laikipia, Samburu, Isiolo, and Meru.
Even as I say, we want order in our country. We want to make sure that hakuna criminal gangs wanna operate in our cities, in our towns, and our villages. Now, some of these gangs wanaencouragewa na siasa. Tumesema kila mwanasiasa akuwe na haki ya kufanya siasa yake, lakini si kuenda kurecruit vijana na kuweka pamoja wakitembea na panga na marungu na kupikia kelele mwenzake. Wewe kuja useme yako, wananchi ni wise, they will know what to do, uende. Mwingine aseme yake, umalize, uende. Sio mambo ya kupangiana panga, sijui rungu, sijui mawe. Tunataka nchi ikuwe na order ya kuhakikisha kwamba those criminal gangs are going to be dismantled. Tangu niingie ofisi nilisema from day one kwamba lazima tutoe hizi magangs. Kulikuwa na shida hapo Western, mahali inaitwa Matungu, penye watu walienda kupigana mpaka kwa mazishi, unabari another person alafu wengine wanapelekwa mochari. Tukasema we don't want that, we want order in our society. Na kazi inaendelea huko Kwale. Mmeona hata kwa habari kuna vijana wengine walikuwa wanatembea wanajiita Panga Boys. Uliona jana kwa Mombasa 120 of them wamekuwa arrested, na huko Msambweni wengine wameshikwa. Sisi tutahakikisha kwamba all gangs that are operating in the country are going to be dismantled, and we are not going to give an opportunity to any politician to group people in the name of politics kwa sababu unataka kuharibu future ya taifa letu. Tutahakikisha hiyo imenyoroshwa.
Now, Meru MPs who are in attendance say that the residents of the county are ready to receive the president when he starts his tour of the Mount Kenya region this week. Meru Governor Isaac Mutuma promised to ensure that bad political moods and behaviors in Meru County, which had become the order of the day, come to an end.
NIS na Chief of Defense Forces wameongea, watu wamelalamika ati hawafai kuongea siasa. Hawakuongea siasa, walisema mkisema Ruto must go, wacha muende kwa ballot museme. Hii mambo ya extra hiyo haikubaliwi. Sawa sawa. Hiyo lazima tujue kama ni ballot, wacha tuende kwa ballot. Mungu ndio, si ndio nimesema Proverbs 19:21. Mungu ndio anapanga.
Rais akikuja hapa Meru, sisi ni watu yake, tulikuwa kati ya wale watu tulipigana sana mpaka rais akapata kiti. Na kuambia uaminifu wetu usichanganywe na chochote. Meru iko nyuma ya rais. Neno mwambia William, kwa Meru wanamngoja. Amen.
Kuna miradi ambazo His Excellency the President anatuletea wiki ambayo tunaanza kesho. Na project kubwa akikuja Meru kutuletea zile ambazo title deeds anatuletea area ya Tigania, project ya over 18 billion ya project inaitwa Widley.
Nimeona wengine wakiulizwa kama watakaribisha rais akikuja, wengine kidogo bishop hapo wameona hawataki kuinua mkono, lakini Mungu atafanya muinue mkono siku ile atakuja. Shori, Mungu ndio mwenye kupanga kila kitu, na Mungu ndio mwenye ataweka hiyo kura ya William Ruto wakati itafika.
Well, at the same time, Kikuyu MP Kimani Ichung'wah has revealed that the president will skip parts of Kiambu County in his tour, but promised that the president will revisit the county in the tail end of his tour of the region.
CDF wajeshi ati ameongea siasa, sababu amesema hata wale mnasema Ruto must go ni haki yenu ya kikatiba, na kama mko na haki ya kusema hayo, mungoje wakati wa uchaguzi, muangalie kazi yake, mufanye uchaguzi kulingana na katiba. Naona wengine wamekasirika, CDF anaongea siasa. CDF hakuongea siasa, alisema vile katiba inasema. Kama unataka kuondoa kiongozi kwa kiti, kiongozi yoyote hata mbunge, ungoje wakati wa uchaguzi ama ufanye recall, kulingana na katiba. Lakini wale wanaongea hayo, unajua walikuwa wameamini mwaka uliopita ati wamefaulu kupindua serikali ya William Ruto. Ndio sasa wameanza kwaya must go, must go. Na mimi nimewambia mkisema Ruto must go, na mimi nasema Ruto must go forward with his transformative agenda for Kenya until we change this country.
That's a pretty situation. That's a strange situation. And you see, Nandi, somebody like Nandi governor and other leaders from the region have basically tore into the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, saying that he was the symbol of tribal politics and that he was inciting the Mount Kenya region against President William Ruto.
We also want to laud the president for ensuring that few elements in his government who do not believe in the unity of Kenya are exited out of some of those positions. And one of them we know is the tribalist in the name of the former deputy president. Today, he has invested his energies in telling us lies upon lies upon lies about the president, about the government that he served, keeping quiet, engaging in all manner of things that benefited him personally. But when he gets out of government, today is one of the loudest critiques. We want to tell you, my friend Rigathi Gachagua, leave the president alone. Let him do his job. Kenyans will judge him, and that nobody has given you the authority to tell us which government is going to be one term or not. In any case, you did not even finish half a term. What kind of authority do you have? You could not last half a term. What authority do you have to tell us that which government is going to go for what, how many terms? The government of William Ruto, on the basis of track record, will do 2 terms and it will transform the economy and the lives of Kenyans. That is going to happen. And in any case, those others who are telling us, oh, this is a one-term government, they told us William was not going to be elected the president. William today is the president of Kenya. So we want to tell you, please, keep off and allow the president of Kenya to work. We are also telling you, Rigathi Gachagua, keep politics out of the military. Our military is respected in Africa and globally. Our security apparatus are supported and respected globally. That is why they are supporting the mission in Haiti. Please keep politics out of military and our security apparatus and allow the president and his government to deliver. Wananchi will make that judgment. And based on the track record that we see today, this government will be elected for a second term with an outstanding performance because of the work they have done in our country today.
Tusaidie His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto ndio aendelee kutusaidia na atupangie mambo na maendeleo katika jimbo letu la Nandi na katika.
Now on to the presidential race. Former Chief Justice David Maraga now says he's still holding talks with the people and will soon announce whether he will offer himself for the top job in the country. Now on claims that he's a state project, Maraga says the truth will become apparent soon.
Good morning, members of the Fourth Estate. Today we've just come here to meet the people and worship with our brothers and sisters in the Catholic Church. Yesterday we were in Migori, where we met the brothers and sisters in the Seventh-day Church, so we are here today. We are very far from elections. We will talk about those things later. We are going to, we are talking, I told you, we are talking with people. It is, at the end of the day, you know, the choice is the people's choice. If you asked me, I will tell you, I mean, I'm the right one. The other one will also say it's the right one. At the end of the day, it is the people who will decide. I mean, just relax, wait. I mean, in due course, you will make up your mind yourself whether or not I'm a state project.
Is the country on the right track?
Huh?
Is the country on the right track currently?
please. Relax. Thank you very much.
At the same time, Kisii County Senator Richard Momoima revealed that the Omogusi community is in the process of setting up its own political party and that the community will front its presidential candidate. Kitutu Chache South Member of Parliament Anthony Kibagendi also said that the Gusii region has already identified its candidate for 2027.
The reality we face today in Kenyan politics, I will say it today here without contradiction, with utmost respect. Kenyan politics is based on arrangements and programs where political parties negotiate for what they take to their counties and areas. We have decided that as a community and as Kenyans, we are also going to set up our own political party. We are going to produce our own candidate who will negotiate with the president and all the other people who are running for political office in this country. And that candidate is none other Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Tumusimamishe na yeye atafute urais. Hebu nionyeshe hivi. God bless you all. Waziri, we will work with the president, we will support him. If he does very well from now until 2026, we will negotiate with him tumshirikishe naye. Lakini kama anashindwa, baba, tuna farasi na kimbia kama farasi ya ngoma.
Sisi kama jamii ya Omogusi, while we support you as our CS and as our SG na viongozi wengine wote katika serikali, sisi tungependa kuambia hata kama tuko shuleni, sisi pia tuko na kijana wetu wa hapa nyumbani ambaye tunampaka mafuta, tunataka akuje kukutana na President William Ruto unyo kwa unyo 2027, anaitwa Fred Matiang'i.
All right then. What we'll do in a couple of minutes, we'll have conversations about some of the things that are happening in our country, including the planned tour to Mount Kenya region, which seems to be basically bringing a lot of friction. Let's see how it's going to play. There are talks, as you can see in the Standard newspaper, they're claiming that the Mungiki have been activated to try and mobilize the people. We'll see how this week is going to turn out. But first, we're going to have a conversation with Mureithi in a couple of minutes or so. Don't go away.